The greatest engineers of the past have paved a path for us to walk along. But despite it, engineering is always going to be hard, and we all know it. And in the midst of this difficulty, you've gotten lost, and most likely been focusing on the non-essential. So I'm here to guide you towards the essential, as I myself have secured my very first internship within only 2 weeks of hunting while studying at one of the top universities in my country. So the first thing that I gotta tell you is to make personal projects. And personal projects are really important for not only your development as an engineering student, but your development as an engineer. Because when you make personal projects, you learn real world concepts, not just the theoretical ones that you learn in your class, like, Bernoulli's equation, Navier-Stokes equation, triple integral this, triple integral that. If you only learn about the theoretical things that are taught in your classes, then you're missing out on a whole bunch, because the real world concepts is the things that actually applies the theoretical things that you learn in university. Now, I'm not saying that theoretical concepts are unimportant, but I'm saying that real world concepts are also important, okay? It's a mixture of the two that makes an engineer. Because look at the greatest engineers of all time. They did not focus only on theoretical concepts. They focused on real world concepts as well. Look at Nikola Tesla. He skipped his classes so that he could tinker and invent and make new things. And look what we have because of it. We have light because of it. We have alternating current powering the fucking globe because of it. Then look at the Wright brothers. They didn't even graduate high school. And look at what they did with their life. They built airplanes that takes us to places, these beautiful places around the world, around Earth, so that we could explore. All because he wasn't focused on getting the traditional theoretical concepts, which again is important, but he focused on projects, they focused on making projects. And then there's Elon Musk, who dropped out of his PhD because he had enough theoretical knowledge, so he built companies, he built technologies that no one dared to try. The greatest engineers weren't built purely off of theoretical knowledge, they were built off of real world knowledge as well. Both are just as important as one another. So start building projects. And projects aren't just important for the sake of real world knowledge, but it's also important for impressing recruiters for engineering internships. Because look at this pyramid that I include in my program linked down below. It shows that your baseline experience is projects, and then your second layer is the internships that you get while you're in university. And then these internships lead to your dream career that you want to fulfill when you actually graduate university. None of your career is possible if you don't make projects on your own time. And at this point, you're probably thinking, what kind of project should I make? How do I actually land an internship that is aligned with this dream career, as it says in your pyramid right here? I answer those exact questions in the program while I do weekly calls with my students. Okay, so check it out if you really need that information. Now, my second point is that you got to study less in university, okay? Studying isn't everything. Getting the perfect report card isn't everything. As a matter of fact, it's doing more harm when you obsess over these grades, all that kind of shit. It's doing more harm than good, because it makes you miserable. Look at all your peers in your lecture halls. They're sleeping. They're sleeping during labs. They're sleeping during lectures. Why? It's because they stayed up all night trying to finish this one assignment that was worth 1% of their fucking grade. They stayed up all night trying to finish this practice exam, to study for an exam that isn't even that hard. You see it time and again. All your peers obsess over grades, all for what? And so that's the first point. It's making you miserable. But the second point is that it's taking away your time that could be spent on making projects, as I said in point 1. And I even have a third reason for why you shouldn't be studying so much, because go on your laptop and type up any engineering job out there. Look at any internship job out there even. You're not going to see any of them want someone with a 4.0 GPA. None of them. You're studying so much for something that's not even going to help you develop into your career. And I'm not saying that you should just take your classes as a joke. I still think what you learn in your classes is important. I'm just saying that your grades itself isn't so shiny as you think it is. Because for an analogy, there's this one player in the NBA, Russell Westbrook. There was one season where he focused only on stats. He made sure that he got points, rebounds, and assists, and that he made himself look good. But when he focused on that, the non-essential, he neglected the essential actual goal, which was winning a championship for the NBA. And you know what happened? He got knocked out the first round of the playoffs. That's what happens when you focus on the non-essential, which in this case is your grades, okay? Your grades is the non-essential. It's only there to make you look good, in the same way that Russell Westbrook's stats was to make him look good. And the essential is actually developing your career as an engineer, in the same way that the essential thing for NBA players is to actually win championships. Now, the third thing that I want to talk about is failure. Failure is scary in engineering because you're spending so much money on all these courses. And if you fail, you just feel really bad about yourself. But I'll go back to the greatest engineers of all time that we looked at before. All of them failed many times. Nikola Tesla failed dozens of times, and if it wasn't for those failures, we wouldn't have alternating current around the world. The Wright brothers have failed hundreds of times, and if it wasn't for those failures, we wouldn't have the airplanes that takes us on vacations everywhere. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times, and if it wasn't for those failures, we wouldn't have thousands of inventions in this world. Failure is what makes engineers, but engineers don't see it as a bad thing. They see it as proof that they need more revision, and revision is only part of the design process for all of engineering. You're always gonna fail once you're an engineer, once you actually graduate and actually work in an engineering company. So you may as well get rid of the fear of failing right now. Now, as a disclaimer, I'm not saying that you should just fail all of your classes. Of course, you need that for your degree. But I'm just saying, don't let this fear of failure hold you back from actually succeeding and excelling your career as an engineer. Because that's what we stepped into university for. That's why we gotta make all these projects. That's why we gotta learn as much as we can while we're still a student. The road forward will only get more difficult here on out, and I can't guide you along the way, but if you join my program, I can get on calls with you and advise you on the things that you're so stressed about and that you need so much advice on. Okay, so check it out. I really think you should join if you made it this far into the video. I really do. I can't wait to see you inside. I'll see you later.